Welcome back to Challengers Corner. EWC champs have been crowned, so now it's time to check our corners and catch up on where Tier 2 stands after the dust is settled. The Challengers scene didn't exactly take over EWC, but there's still plenty to talk about. Who helped their stock, who left us wanting more, and what the scene looks like heading into whatever comes next. I am your host, Landon. That is my co-host, Verb. How you doing, Verb?
I'm doing good, man. Excited to be here, back for round two of our
Round
little Challengers
two.
Corner session.
Episode 2. Let's get right into it. So we're going to be talking about Thursday and Friday this episode. I think we skipped day 2, but we can bring up some stuff from day 2 if we need to or want to. Starting off on Thursday, we had the Pit going against Carolina Royal Ravens. What do you think about this turnout for the Pit and the Ravens?
I think it goes to show that, stat padding isn't always everything. You can clearly see here after the tallies have been marked that even though they got outslayed pretty much across the board, that, the pit managed to walk away with the win. I'm a little surprised Epdot had a kind of a weaker performance during this particular matchup. But at the end of the day, they managed to close out their searches and they managed to take that first hard point, which was a big momentum swing going into the series, and it carried them through winning the series 3-2.
Yeah. Honestly, I was not shocked. I was actually more shocked it went 5. I honestly thought that they were gonna
Close it in three.
close it in 3 or 4, to be honest. I didn't expect Carolina to kick up that well, but honestly, watching frequency this weekend, I feel like a lot of the challengers teams just weren't quite as ahead on that map as some of our pro teams. But it was definitely fun to watch that map again. It brought back a lot of memories.
That old BO4 days.
Oh yeah, I was competing back then, man. So
I think Exceed competed back then too, so he was really a vet on that map, and I think it played a big part in why they managed to win that frequency hard point.
yeah, that's true. That's fair. He did go crazy on the frequency, didn't he? Oh yeah, 1.5 on the frequency. Yeah, for sure. Did his thing. But yeah, it wasn't
uh,
enough. The pit closed
Anybody
out.
really stand out to you here? Anybody really stand out to you here during the series, like from the
Um,
pit side especially?
So basically, I would say there was like stints, maybe not this series in particular. F dot did stick out to me this weekend, but this series, I would say Harry and Mythics both kind of like they had their points in this series
Mhm.
where they really showed up. And it might not show it on Mythics, KD ratio, but like there was a lot of points where he was doing the right thing, you know,
He was
and
making a big play.
right, right. I think it was honestly a good showing from all of them. I think the pit did the best this weekend as far as tier 2 goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were the grittiest, which, surprising because, Omit was there. We were expecting Omit to really do
Shake up the
something,
boat.
but they did
Yeah.
not.
You think after this final showing, because this is the last match, like last tournament, I guess, that anyone really has before going into the off season and roster mania. Do you think any of these players get picked up going into next year? And if so, which ones and where do you think they're going?
I was a little bit surprised like how great Lens did in that map 5 and yet he didn't, or the map 4, and yet he didn't call in his streak at the end of the game.
Streak during the P1. Yeah, I should have streaked that P1, bro. The roof is open. I
Um,
remember people were all over Twitter talking about like why Lynn didn't call in a streak, and I think I read somewhere that Lynn said that he didn't really see that he had it, but if you watch the broadcast on his POV, it was there.
yeah. I don't know. I think F dot can shoot. I think that he was looking really good. I think F dot and Mythic stood out to me the most this tournament.
I think
And
personally,
Lens
with
and
regards to
Lucifer
FDOT,
had their moments for sure. What's up?
yeah, I was gonna say like FDOT really does have like one of those play styles where you really feel his presence, but I watched him throughout the maps, and then there was a couple situations where if he just played a little bit more patiently, right? He'll pick up these extra kills, and because he's like I don't know if he's excited or they're just used to playing at like an extremely fast pace, but he got caught sprinting a couple times,
Yeah.
and it made the game harder for his teammates. I think he looks kind of like an uninvolved Shotzi, like when Shotzi was in MW3 when they were having that rough stint.
Yeah.
Um, just knowing when to slow down. I think F. kind of suffers from that same kind of pacing issue, where yes, it's great to play fast and it's good that he knows how to hit the routes and these timings, but if he just slows down a couple times and just waits for his teammates and plays a little bit more patient, a little bit more disciplined, we can see some great things happening for that guy down the line.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that. I could see how you're saying that. Do you see anybody in this team getting a look?
I think if they're gonna get looks from teams, I would say their best bet might be an ultra pickup or an ultra look maybe this offseason for one of these guys. I know Ultra likes to pick up the EU kids over there. They go along well with Toby. I think if any changes are going to be made, they might be looking for an AR to replace Insight. I think maybe going into next season or at this like during the first couple of months that Insight might be looking down a different path, and it could be one of these two ARs. Either I would say Harry, I think really kind of surprised me throughout the series, and F dot if that pacing issue is something that can kind of be worked on, and then because Insight's always been kind of like that slow old school AR for Ultra. And we're going into an IW title, so I think a player that kind of can still know when to slow things down, but also know when to pick things up and get moving on the map. I think that's a player that Ultra will definitely be taking a strong look at.
Yeah. Lucifer, Harry. I wonder which one he's gonna go with. I wonder which one he's gonna stick with.
I did see a little controversy over his name choice.
Oh, boo hoo.
Like the theologist people, talking about the name choice. So we're a little bit upset, but I don't think it's too deep if he chooses to go with that name and decide and he makes the league, then.
Bro, who cares? It's a name. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I don't give a single. I don't
It's the
care.
optics. It's the optics of the situation, Landon.
Right, right. All right, so we got next series Omit going up against Cloud9.
This was a disappointing series.
This was such a disappointing series. I thought this was going to be 3-0 Omit. Can you believe this?
Honestly, I'm genuinely confused. No disrespect to the Cloud9 team, but they struggled throughout the season for pretty much the entire season. I think they finished with one of the worst records in CDL history.
They
But they
tied
also did
they
have a
tied
lot of team
Falcons, didn't
changes.
they?
They tied Falcons. Oh wow. But yeah, like they did make a lot of team changes, pulled in a lot of rookies. So I can understand them kind of struggling, especially with their I guess payment problems. They've been, kind of looking at
Yeah.
salaries and whatnot.
Yeah.
But this was regardless still an upset. And I know a couple of these players did. Actually, I think this entire team was in challengers or came out of challengers at one point through the year. So I'm pretty sure all of these players at some point or another have played each other multiple times, maybe at events and majors and such. I would have to double check. But yeah, I did not expect it to look so lopsided. Like
Right.
if they were going to lose, I would have expected it to be closer,
Right.
right? This was
100%.
not the showing I think we expected. I don't think Omid expected this either.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess all you can say is like, good job to the Cloud9 guys. They managed to get one under their belt
That took a
because it was not
challengers team
happening. It was
coming to
it was not
EWC.
happening any other point of the year. It was not looking like this.
They hadn't won. Cloud9 had not won a series since beating Gentlemates after Gentlemates won Major One.
So they haven't like, and that was a different roster. Like these four players, I don't think have won anything. Surprised by Webby though. I think Webby's made a good showing
Dude,
throughout
Wevy
the year
is
for this team.
100% going to be in the league somewhere next year. It's probably not going to be on a good team. He's probably going to get shafted, but he's a good player. Honestly, we could go ahead and talk about these four players too, because they're basically challengers players.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, who do you see being in the league next year, like between these four players? Because I know
I
who
definitely
stands out to
see
me.
Webby. I think Webby might end up on a G2 kind of roster, maybe a Ravens. I think a G2, um, if he ends up on G2 somehow, I
Yeah.
think that probably would be his best offer. from one
I
of the
could see that.
mid-range, kind of like middle of the pack teams.
I think that would be his best, like his ceiling for offers this year.
Yeah. No, that definitely was a good look, and I think they probably are looking at him. I did see that Nasty tweeted out free agent,
Yep.
so they might be looking for kind of like that flex
Nasty and Envoy
player.
are both free agents.
Yeah, yeah. So with those two both being kind of potentially gone, I mean, they could always resign, right?
Right.
They could always end up resigning.
Right.
But I think with those being their options, I think Webby might genuinely get a good look from one of those rosters.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think especially it's like less on the players, more so for the orgs to see, who's being released, who's being re-signed. So there's a lot going on with the teams that are in the league for these challengers to kind of, see where their opportunities are going to take them going forward.
Right. I mean, yeah, I see Webby in the league next year. Out of these four guys, that's the only person I could really see. If I had to pick it, the second person, it would be really hard to pick between Encourage and Nezra. I would say maybe Nezra.
You don't think Gwen gets another look after being, in and out kind of so often?
No, not this year. I think he could potentially get another look eventually, just probably not this off season. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I like wins, so I mean I wouldn't be mad about being wrong. All right, let's get to the next series. We got Austin versus Team War. And I mean we can technically go over both these rosters as well because Boston are all
They're
challengers
both
players.
challengers, yeah.
I think let me if I'm just gonna start it off with saying that I think that Vic underperformed the way I thought he would perform this tournament.
Hmm.
Um, not on this match in particular, just in general. I think he was
Yeah, I think he has a higher ceiling than what he showed at EWC for sure.
100%. I think that I don't necessarily think he hurt his stock or anything. I just think that he's gonna need a regain tournament, a bounce back. I think that Dimensions might have been the best player in
Every year, I don't know if I don't know if I can say this, but
at
I'm gonna make
EWC.
this PG. But what the heck is the dimensions, man? Like that guy is going to the league next year. I've been
Yeah,
saying it since MW3. I've been watching this guy since MW3. I think it's long overdue. He's been given a shot on a stage like this. I think he made an excellent showing for himself, and I will be disappointed, truly and dearly, if I don't see him on a team next year.
yeah, 100%. I mean, he like showed up this tournament. I'm pretty sure, like, wasn't he like the most consistent from this tournament? I could be
I
wrong, but
think he was. I think he was one of the best players I got to watch this weekend, coming from the challenger side of things.
I mean, he was insane.
I could see him definitely on a middle of the pack kind of team as well. I could see even Ultra.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think that might be the ceiling of his offers. I think Ultra, if like depending on what Insight is doing going forward, they might
right,
stick with him at the beginning of the year. I think a lot of teams like to do that. That don't are a little bit more nervous about switching up things. I
yeah,
think they'll stick with them at the beginning of the year, and if things go well, then mum's the word. They're all together. That's fine, right? But if they kind of start off a little bit slow and things are looking like it might be a repeat of the last year, then I think then we'll see some roster moves, especially after the first event. Some big roster moves.
yeah. It would just be like last year, or I guess this season, this last season, because that's kind of what happened. Is like you saw, like I think it was either the first major or the first and second major. After that, I mean, I don't think any roster was the same besides Optic and
Like the top three, I think, yeah.
Phase. Optic and
Even then, I
Phase.
think, yeah, because I think even LA Thieves also did the roster change with
Yeah.
Kenny and Neum coming in,
So
and
like everybody was switching. I think Boston might have not switched early. I think they like waited till late season to switch.
yeah,
But yeah, like
TJ Halley going out like this, man.
this is genuinely
Mm.
the best time to be a challengers player. I think that I mean obviously there's still only a certain amount of spots, but I feel like after seeing all these challengers players come up, Aluka, Hips, Neum, Lurks, like how good they are, I just think that we're gonna see a lot more pull from the tier two eventually.
Mhm.
Probably like you said after the first tournament next year. Afro is not bad. I feel like he needs a good team around him. I think that Purge brings
They just can't keep getting
intangibles.
away with it.
I think he brings intangibles. He just can't get a kill most like he's very inconsistent.
He's either ripping and tearing or he's getting torn to pieces. Like there's just
Right.
never an in between.
Right.
It's like very volatile. Just like he needs to work on his consistency in the slaying department.
Yeah. And then you got Spart, which I feel like he got just like put in
A poor
to
position.
yeah. I mean,
But
he
like it's
had
one of those
nasty,
situations
but
where you just
like
gotta take it. You just gotta take what you're given, because like I think he did come out of challengers this year as well. So, when you get an offer to a team, um, most of the players do try to take the offer that they get that's in front of them.
yeah. And then TJ. TJ.
Siege, bro, too much crumble or not enough in Paris. No crumble cookie in Paris, man.
If we see Teach in the league next year,
I gotta say he's getting the inside treatment if he's in the league next year, bro. Like he's gotta have some insane blackmail. Insane blackmail.
insight level blackmail, Verb
Yeah,
says.
like that's genuinely what I believe.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next series. We got Project Notorious versus Surge. I mean, we all expected
This was a good
this.
match.
We all expected
This was,
this.
no, they looked good. They looked good in this match.
Cammy is, I think he legit got done dirty when he got dropped and brought to challengers. I think he was insane when he got dropped. But
Yeah,
wasn't he
like
on
that.
Boston?
He had a great year, like end of the year last year, like with their little champs run. They did pretty good, and I was genuinely surprised to see him back down in the pit for this year.
And when he went down there, he was frying it.
They needed to get him out of there, bro. They genuinely. Johnny played fantastic during this match. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
disappointed with the degree to how they lost, like Vancouver Surge. I think, you're getting 100-point clubbed by a challengers team is that's definitely got to do something on the mental. You got to be a little bit checked after that,
Right.
and I think they kind of just ran away with the series from there because it looked like they were just like shocked and awed, socket and
Yeah.
then were over like, before you could blink. Two very quick short maps, right? They managed to find their footing for the gridlock. I think they did manage like to pull something together and then a kind of close final dead hard point, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. I mean, I really had high hopes for Craze and Mamba coming out of EWC last year. I thought Mamba was pretty fucking good, like very solid. So to
I think Craze was one of the best players in like just overall last year. Like I won like three elites in a row with three like different teams every single time, like completely different players. So my expectations for this year were higher than I think he could have aspired to. But this was a bit of a scrappy kind of put together roster. Like I don't think the management kind of gave them enough to work with. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
um I think if you have especially rookies coming out of challengers, you need to kind of have a system to slot them into to give them that kind of form, right? When you start bringing in multiple rookies, like this roster basically has three rookies and like Nero, who has been historically like a pretty good sub, just has had some offbeat moments throughout his years,
And he's a
but you
69
know
god.
yeah, but when the vettiest player on your team is near poison, like you probably don't have a very strong system to play off of, right? To
Yeah.
play into.
And I don't know. I think Lunars and Purge and Insight. You know what? I'm creating a team.
You
Lunars,
got
Purge, Insight,
and
and
TJ Halley,
TJ Halley.
call it blackmailed.
Yeah.
Team blackmail. Give us the winner else.
I feel like P7 did their thing. I think they got really unlucky matching up with Optic second match.
Oh, absolutely. I think if they go against not maybe not thieves, maybe not optic, but I think if they go against like a G2, they might have had a better chance to show out in front of that crowd,
Yeah.
right? I think when you have players like Cammy and you have Johnny kind of doing their thing, right? And those players, like, they've been in the league and at one point, like some points or another, been like super respected. Like Cam League dating back to like Cold War. Snoopy was really gross during MW3. I haven't seen too much of Johnny's gameplay, but Eric Boom was also a very strong player to look at it during his stint on the Miami Heretics.
Yeah.
But like those three guys, that would have made for a very interesting match. I love to see teams that are more evenly matched play against each other. You kind of get to see like who's going to evolve first, like who's taking the extra step, who's playing ahead, right?
Yeah.
And when it's that close, it just plays for such good COD, such
Right.
good COD.
Yeah, we all like the actual like back and forth chess type COD. We don't want to see any slammage. Like obviously, if it's your team, you don't care if they're slamming,
If you
but
got a
like
sider, you're placing bets over it under, that's great for you. I just love to see nitty gritty fights. I love to see
right.
breakers break and teams ice up. Like that's where you get the real adrenaline kind of pumping, like in those moments, man. And the fact that they're doing their thing, the comms are calm and cool. The shots are straight, still beaming.
Yeah.
Right? You can see who gets nervous in those moments, and
Yep.
you know
Who's gonna
who's
clutch up?
forging diamonds. Exactly.
Yep. All right. I think we covered this good. I think Snoopy Loki might get back into the league next year. I think he
I
got done
would
dirty
be
this
more
year.
inclined to give Johnny a chance, to be honest.
I
I
mean,
don't understand what it is with these teams that like they knock a player down to challengers, right? And then like
just
after
to
the players
reuse them.
grinded through challengers, they somehow end up back in the league on like a slightly worse team.
Yeah.
All right. Like I don't understand like the thought process. Like if a player's getting dropped and you're gonna pick them up, like just target them before they go down into the pit because like I genuinely don't understand like why you would not want to take full advantage if you're interested in a player or you're interested in making a switch, right? That you would wait for a player to go down to the pit and like reprove themselves,
Yeah.
right? And there is a lot of RNG. I think when you put yourself in these kind of situations, there's like dozens upon dozens of teams competing, right? You have different events, different brackets, pro points, making a mess of things, right? Like if you see a player with the skill set you're looking for, I think orgs should just target them regardless.
Yeah, 100%. The problem is I feel like a lot of these orgs aren't worried about looking for what they think they should be looking for. I think they're not even looking. I don't think they're I just don't think a lot of these orgs really give a fuck. So it doesn't really matter what they're looking for.
I think more player influence is needed because like you're picking up the same players and then you're somehow surprised when they perform similarly to what they did before they got dropped.
Yeah.
Like I think that's been my main issue with challengers is like it's kind of like you've heard the phrase friendship league, friendship league, friendship league, right? But when you've taken chances on players that haven't been in the league, they have shown out incredible. All right. If you just look back to last year, right, we had Merck who was given a chance, right? Not a player that was knocked down the challengers called back up, but his first time coming up. Right. This year we had a Luca. Right. A few years ago, it was Neptune and Gwyn, both players shaking up the league.
Yeah.
Last year, Mamba and Craze also showed out amazing. Just came up from challengers as
Beat
well.
phase at
All
EWC.
right. Exactly. So all I'm saying is that there is incredible talent down in the pit. There's such a wide variety of players that can fill the roles that a lot of these teams are looking for, especially when you're looking at players that, or teams that need a little bit more slaying power, teams that need a little bit either slower or faster pace. You're looking for people with good game sense and leadership and comms, right? All of these things are curated to the highest degree down the pit because I can promise you the players that are doing this surely out of passion, all
Yeah.
right? They are putting everything they have into it, right? They
Right.
have the most room for improvement and they are going to outwork the players that are already in the league because they have their spot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I
Yep.
think
Yep.
if you're
Yep.
in the pit and you have that fire lit under you, it really shows in your gameplay. It really shows when you're at events, right?
100%.
And I think more teams should be paying attention. More people should be paying attention because all the talent in the world starts right here.
I 100% agree. I think they should be looking out for Snoopy and Johnny. Johnny first because he's only had like one brief stint in the league. And you really just don't know what he could be with like a really good team or like a mid-pack team. But yeah, I think that's good for that match. Let's get into Team Heretics versus Team War. Oof.
I don't know what to say. All I can say is that from preliminary discussions, Miami Heretics before the event even started, there was chatter about them like this is the best they had looked all year. Like this, they have looked incredible lead going into this EWC coming off of champs,
I didn't hear
right?
about that. Yeah.
I heard about it. They were talking about it on the desk before they played. They were mentioning that the Heretics like this was their strongest look. And I think it showed throughout their tournament. They made what most people would have assumed were upsets, but if if you know ball going into the event, then you would have known that this team meant business.
I apparently don't know ball because honestly they had been looking rough the last two or three tournaments. So I
Oh, they
just
like they were not good. I don't think they were. I would classify them as good, but historically speaking, I think Miami as a team, for some reason, these Spanish kids, they just love their respawns. And when things are clicking for them, it is really clicking for them. I think historically, Search has kind of always been like a hit and miss kind of game for them. And I mean, it definitely showed out in the finals, but their respawns looked really strong all weekend.
yeah
And it showed here. I
yeah
think a little bit of unfortunate for Team War to pull a team that kind of has a hot hand like this. I would have loved to see them kind of carry it further. And I think this was the match you were talking about where you said that like you expected a little bit more out of Vic.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the performance I was what's
Alluding to.
foreshadowing, yeah, alluding to, just because, yeah, he's a way better player than this, and obviously most people would know it if they watch.
I think this is just a system breakdown. Like I don't think they have anything to like beat themselves up over. They played an extremely strong respawn team this event,
Yeah,
and it just looked like there's just like Miami was just getting to do whatever they wanted. Like when you're out slaying like this, like as strong as they were, you're looking at like plus 60 kills in 3 maps, right? That is a huge difference. Super rocking a 1.71, Real rocking a 1.56, right? And that 1.20 does look low in comparison, but that's still a very strong positive KD overall. Like
yeah,
when you're getting outslayed like that, like you're just there's just no way anything's happening in your favor.
right. And I mean, like I said, Dimensions stuck out more over the whole tournament than I think anybody did. And look, he's down there
He
with a
managed to hold his own
1.02.
even though there was the slammage.
Right. So I definitely think the Dimensions, his stock rose this weekend. Speaking of stocks, how do you feel about Ethan's stock after this tournament? Do you think it went down? Do you think it stayed the same?
I would assume that teams that were looking at him beforehand are probably still looking at him.
Yeah.
I think at worst they might have a conversation about how much his stock is worth. I
Yeah.
don't think this jeopardizes
Opportunity.
his opportunity. I think, you win as a team, you lose as a team,
Yeah.
right? They're not looking to pick up the whole roster, just looking at one individual player. Think Ethan has definitely kind of shown he has those pop off moments, right? And if any org is willing to kind of put him in their lineup, right? You get a different level of practice. You're in a facility with 4 players. You're all like looking at each other. Got coaches and analysts. You're playing with the best setups. Your league standardized, right? I think that kind of elevates a player a little bit. So I think if he's being looked at by any teams, I don't think they're going to change their minds just because they lost to Cloud9.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, you'd want to see them show out against the what is the worst team in the CDL right now.
In the CDO. I
But
think that
I
they
do
should have
think
won
that
the third map and the fourth map, and they should have gone to game five. But
yeah. I
yeah,
also think that all the Cloud9 players were genuinely playing because this is like most likely the last opportunity they get for a while. And like we said, Wevy might get in there, but I don't see it unless they just accept shitty salary contracts again. I don't really see them back in the league.
I was hearing around the rumor mill. I think for his CEO Grazan. was talking about having a more healthier and balanced league going into next year. So I think we might start seeing some salary minimums and some salary, possibly salary caps.
Okay.
So teams like that are like kind of just skirting by just for branding's sake, are gonna
Right.
have to actually put something in there, right? Because they did
Yeah.
get a refund from their league buy-ins,
Right.
right? So now I think they're like hoping to, if you have a league spot, great. Now you're gonna have to pay your players properly, respectable, not minimum wage. Like no more having your players pay for their own buyouts. I think that's ridiculous.
It's
But
insane.
yeah, like imagine you're like, yeah, we want you to come play for us, but you need to pay us first.
It's
Like,
your
what does that nonsense?
opportunity in the big leagues. The big leagues.
And
Like,
it's not
mom,
and it's
I'm
not
literally
like
going to play.
20K buyout. These are like 2, 3K buyouts, like small contract matters,
I
right? For orgs
swear.
of such prestige, bro.
Yeah, and it's just so they can
Like
have a grand of your EWC money. Like, what? It's unreal.
poor
Um,
business decision making.
Bad business. We got the pit and gentlemates, which honestly, I feel like you could just tell when certain teams just don't like get as many scrims against pro teams as other teams. Like gentlemates have been scrimming the top
And
teams
I'm
all
pretty sure the
year.
Pit is one of those teams where like they can't get anyone to scrim them over in the EU. I think that team is
Right,
like strict from the EU, so they don't really have anybody to practice over here that plays to the level that the North American League plays.
right.
Right? I
Yeah,
think they do their best. I think there maybe is one or two teams, but not a single one of them for EWC, especially after champs being over. Right? Very few teams are probably scrimming, and after the LCQ was over, that's pretty much it. You're only playing people that are in EWC. That's pretty much it.
yep. And that's honestly what I feel like this is. It's just like a little bit of skill diff, but basically more just like
A practice
practice
diff, to be honest. I
preparation
think it's a
different.
practice diff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is honestly, I feel like a lot of these teams don't really just. It's going to be a lot better when. Okay, actually, this is a good time to go into this. It's going to be a lot better next year, I feel like, for teams scrimming because of this, where Benjay talks about owners wanting more crossover with Pro Am at every event next season or in future seasons coming up.
That's no, that's gotta happen.
Um,
That'll bring life to the esport.
and basically, they're gonna have the idea is to have the top amateur teams from NA and EU, the top two, to play in every tournament next year. Which would be insane. I mean, it would be great, and honestly, it would open up a lot more like opportunities
Conversations,
for
especially.
that and also opportunities for number one the bottom pro teams to get smacked by the top challengers teams, and also it'll open up their opportunities to scrim these bottom tier pro teams and maybe even scrim some of the higher up ones.
Well, the thing with that is that, as far to my knowledge at least, the pros play on a different patch of the game pretty much every single year than everyone else. They actually play on they play on different patches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I think I don't know if there's a way because I know I think I'm pretty sure that's something that Activision has set up with the League PCs, like that they would play on a specific patch of the game for
I didn't
everyone,
think about that.
right? So I think that's a main that's actually a huge reason why pro teams don't get to scrim challengers as often or like if ever,
Okay,
right? For the
well,
last I think it's been
imagine
like that for a while.
imagine they go back to console next year, and then
Yeah, see
it
like
doesn't matter
that'd be
then.
lit.
That would be legitimately everything we need.
I don't know if they could do it on console. They might have done it like as far back as like MW19, I think. Like they were on different patches of the game even on console. I could be wrong with that.
Maybe
Like
so.
don't
Maybe so.
nobody quote me on that. Nobody quote me on that, but I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's why we haven't seen many challengers teams like, you normally you see like maybe clips or like someone's got bots somewhere of them scrimming like, Optic or Thieves or something like that crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they played on the same patch as the rest of the competitive scene for some time.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think they can definitely do it on console as well. We got Project Notorious versus Optic Gaming as the last match that we're going to go over today.
I think they did well. I know what the scoreboard is showing. I see all the
They
red. I
brother,
see
they
3
fought
optic
back.
thing, but
Uh,
they were fighting. They were fighting. Like they're like optic was going to that like these guys have no hands. Nah, Project Notorious had hands. They just don't have any ice.
they fought back. They fought back as good as they could against the best team all year.
Yeah, no,
So
for
I
sure,
mean,
without a doubt.
they did their thing. You
Shotzi was
can't really hate
feasting,
on any.
bro. Like
Yeah,
you
he
can't.
was
Like how do
feasting.
you practice against Ant, man? Like come on. Like how do you prepare for Shotzi on the
He
map?
was
The
playing
question.
ranked play, man. He was playing ranked play the night before. He was like, "That this is the perfect." I don't know if that was the night before. I'm just making a joke. All right, so then we've got. I just want to highlight this a couple plays from DK.
Slip away. Does he get all the way back to the basketball? Yes. And now a 1v3 potentially on the card. Okay, now the last one left. Able to find one outside.
So this is his 1v3 versus mates.
All the way back to the basketball? Yes. And now a 1v3 potentially on the cards.
Already has a 1v2 on this map. How about a 1v3 here for young DK?
And he got a 1v2 earlier.
55 seconds left to go on the round.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Gentlemates
sure.
aren't going to waste any time. Rotate it over towards the safe bomb plant. You plan it for middle, and DK might be in a position to shut this down. 1v1.
Finds the first. Sib gets the bomb planted, slips away over towards Laundry.
He's got to wrap it.
And he's thinking about doing just that, and he will. Yeah, good call here from Sib. Does DK get the read on this? Lot of areas he has to check. Sib has repositioned back over towards Rock. What a read from DK! Oh! Comes back over towards elbow.
Just ball knowledge, man. The kid went big for them, honestly, this weekend, all weekend. And then we got this one as well.
Not quite enough. The carry squares up to him. A little bit reckless. Surely not. Why are you challenging?
Webby was feeling himself. I don't know what Webby was feeling like, but yeah, Webby was feeling something.
Yeah.
Webby must have been feeling like Teej in that 1v1.
Feeling like
that is
Teej.
insane to take. I know Webby has a sub in his hands. Like I know that's an NPC he's shooting.
Right. Well, no, he might have picked
himself.
up encourages M15.
AR. Nah, I don't think he's losing that gunfight like that if he had an M15. I'm pretty sure that's an NPC he's rocking with.
Maybe so. You're probably right. He probably didn't think about it. And then I got a couple more tweets. I want you to I want you to give me your first reaction to these tweets, and then like
raw,
just raw reaction. Actually, close your eyes first. Close your eyes first.
Closed. I'm not getting any previews. Hide and seek is going on right now.
All right.
You gotta let me know when to open them up.
Open them up.
What the? Yo, close the tab, brother. What the fuck? Yo, is that Fatty? What is going on, bro? Is that his toe?
That's the general manager of the Bush.
That's Jerry, bro?
No, that's not Jerry. That's Jace.
Bro, that guy needs to be banned. That can't be live on Twitch, bro. Like that's gotta be a bannable offense. That's a red card on the play. That's a fine.
He's sucking his own toes on stream.
Disgusting.
All right. Close your eyes.
I just know he walks around barefoot too before he sucked his own toes. This guy's a freak.
All right, now shut your eyes again. One more raw reaction.
Yo, if I see any more toes on the stream, brother, this is the last episode you're seeing me on. I'm scared.
Open them.
You gotta let me know when. Yo, brother, how does I'm concerned, bro. Did you watch this full thing before you showed this to me?
Yes.
I gotta know. Like, did you just sit here and watch this whole thing, bro? I am petrified. Why is he just always shirtless?
Why is he always shirtless?
Why is he built like that, bro? Why is he just like his body's so big and his head looks so small? It just doesn't like low res. He looks like a bald child. I'm scared. Caillou on the scene, bro. I think EWC definitely was a surprise for few good reasons and a little bit disappointing for a bunch of other ones. But I think, this might be definitely a great look for a lot of these players going into next year. I'm excited to see what Roster Mania brings. Congrats to Optic on winning a back-to-back EWC title.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Congrats to Optic
and
Greenwall.
like, man, like it breaks my heart to see that because I run with the thieves, bro. I run with the thieves.
You run with the Thieves. So does our boy Tristan over at Black Label Picks.
Dude, bro, I was very disappointed to see a BG join the Double O agency. It
Yeah.
was definitely a mosh up experience, and to know that that's how Hydra and Scrap break up.
Yeah.
Well, like I expected bigger things from that duo, I'm not gonna lie, but it
Me
just never
too.
seemed like they were able to find their footing with their other two kind of players, regardless to whatever roster they were on. I
Yeah.
don't think they found any kind of stability, and they never really found what they were looking for, whether that was through Ghosty and Envoy,
I
whether
mean,
that was, Kenny.
I think you put two people around them, the right two people, and it could have been another dynasty. I mean, that's how good Scrap and Hydra are.
Joe had stayed on 100 Thieves and they got Hydra with them,
Yeah.
and
It's crazy how
I don't know,
chemistry
like players'
works.
personal issues, like shaping up their roster. Like at the end of the day, like it's good to enjoy what you're doing, but this is business, bro. Like if I'm in the league, I'm in there to win everything. I don't care how squash personal be. You're
Yeah.
in there for rings and chips, bro. And the fact of the matter is that you've teamed with Hydra and Scrap for 2 years. You've won like a couple of chips, but you haven't really locked in the big one. Poor performances at champs back to back years, and then a bit of a disappointing finish
Yeah.
in EWC. So, for those guys, I'm a little disappointed they went out like this, but who knows what happens next year. We might see Scrap on Gentlemates.
I'm assuming it's probably going to be Scrap and Hydra on General Mates, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think this was a financial issue. I think it was just of like they just spent too much money.
Yeah,
And
that's
didn't have
exactly
the
what it
results to
was.
continue funding the roster.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's got to be what it is. I mean, they don't want to not play with each other. They like each other. They like playing with each other, and I assume they're probably going to next year on General Mates. So it's just financial. And I honestly, I mean, I don't think they haven't have any problems playing with Neum or Abizi either. I think it's legitimately just like going to be a rebuild year for Thieves.
I think Thieves and Ultra are two teams I'm actually looking close at because those are teams that historically have been like, well, like I know they have probably higher ceilings, but consistently in like the top 4 to 6 teams, like regardless of who's been on their roster, right? And their ceiling kind of depends on who their superstars are. So
Yeah.
those are two teams I'm looking to really shake things up. They might bring in another, we might have another Mercules Superstar Challenger come up next year,
Yep.
and I'm just kind of excited to see.
Yep. Speaking of Mercury Superstar Challenger, I think that we saw a potential of somebody that could come close to Mercules and Scrap, and I think Aluka is. I think
Luca's the
Aluka's good,
truth. He's
bro.
the truth. He looks
Dude,
disgusting. He looks like he's actually really happy. Like he looks like
on
they
and
really made
off
him
the
feel
court.
welcome.
Yeah.
Like he just looks like he feels so natural in the way he's playing.
Yep.
I think that whole team like just looks and feels happy. Like shout out to Pred. Shout out to Pred
Right.
for
Right.
whatever that guy had going on behind the scenes, because without that we wouldn't be here.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see what Falcons are going to pull through next season.
Yeah.
I think champs and EWC being like top 3, top 4 finishes, right? They have definitely a bit of a ways to go. They haven't been teaming that long. I'll give them that, and with the role changes and swaps, but we saw flashes of Kismet Bulldog, coming back. All right, we've seen Celium, rocking the sub. He looks way quicker in his pacing, and he looks way more active on the map, and it's really showing.
Yep.
And Luke is definitely doing his things, and he's having his pop off moments. Like shout out to that guy. Saud is just, he's the prince for a reason, man. That guy's an oil prince. Guy's got money, and he plays like he knows that he just has unlimited confidence with those players around him.
Yeah. I think that get Aluka the Super Max. I think that kid is a 10 out of 10 on and off the field, on and off the court. I mean, charisma, out of the charts, off the charts. I mean, the dude can play, he can shoot, he can think. I mean, I'm listening to him call out. I mean, he sounds like he knows what the fuck he's doing. I mean, genuinely, just all around, it's making me think Merc, just obviously without the accomplishments part.
Yeah, but he definitely has the right tools in his kit, you know, the right kind of play style, right mentality. And honestly, like he's got a great team around him. I am expecting at least one major chip for that team next year.
Yeah.
I think they finally finished, you know, going through that kind of rebuild phase after, you know, the entire roster being blown up during BO6 and the woes they've had throughout the year with Pred and role swaps. And they just look like I don't explain it. Like I haven't seen those players smile in like so long, and they genuinely look happy outside
Well,
of
I
like
mean, to be
the
fair,
Rancor situation.
I doubt it's going to be the same team next year.
You do?
Yeah, I doubt they keep Kismet, which I think they should. I like Kismet. I
No,
just
I think they'll stick. I genuinely think they'll stick it because the last two events have kind of showed them that like this team does have a higher ceiling,
you think
and they
they'll
might
go with
want to.
progression.
I think that team can move up a little bit in terms of what they're capable of doing. And I did hear, even though it goes against kind of like the teaming philosophy, I did hear rumors around the mill that they might throw some oil money at Hydra as a dark horse kind of in that race.
Yeah,
You know, if the price is right, they might take it.
that was a thing as well. But I mean, to be fair, they could go with progression. I mean, they had such bad years or a bad year BO6 and like BO7, like they started off rough and then like all of a sudden now like the last two tournaments they're top 3. Or no, they're
That's
not.
what
Are
people
they
are going to
top
be
3?
remembering. Like, they're not
No,
going to think
top 3,
about
top
how
4.
bad they looked. They're going to look at the last two events and say, like, you know what? Like,
We can do this.
we can do this.
And
This is something manageable.
you're going back to a Modern Warfare game where the style that Kismet won a ring on. So I
Yeah,
mean, you can keep the same roster. You can.
I think so. I genuinely think so. And I wouldn't be surprised if I honestly I'm calling it from now. Mark my word. I think Falcons win the first major of MW4. Mark my
Oh,
words.
okay.
Mark my words. Calling it from now. The date is August 10th, 2026, and I'm calling it here first. I think Falcons win the first event. God willing, they keep the same roster they have now.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a bold statement, but I mean, you can only get those type of bold statements on Challengers Corner from me and Verb. You know, we're the right type of we're in the right type of mindset to say what we think, no matter what
That's
it
hot takes
means.
for you. That's a hot take for you.
That's right. That's right. But we really don't even need to be talk about pros on Challengers Corner. If you stuck around this long, please like. It really does help out. Comment down below who you think is going to get picked up from challengers this year, who you think is going to be dropped from the pro league this year. If you're enjoying this, please subscribe. If you like any of the takes that were given out, then please go follow our social medias down in the description. I put me and Verbs both down in the description, so go check them out. And yeah, I think that'll be it. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and this is
All I got to say is that if you're the kind of player that checks his or her corners, make sure you turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date with everything challengers.
yes sir, yes sir. Cause guess what? We check corners over here on Challengers Corner. I'm Landon. That's Verb. Have a great night.